We continue to talking about product as the element of marketing mix for non-profit educational organization. The quality of education remains to be a difficult issue. This is the quality of education that actually represents a major factor for competitiveness and requires the introduction of quality management, marketing, market knowledge, and financial management. Goods on the market of educational services are standardized as the state establishes a list of professions. However, in response to challenges for differentiated market, educational institutions can somehow violate from the standard scheme within their range of educational services and choosing from and approved by the state list and proven education additional services differentiated by level of educational services, brand and educational innovations. Next element after product is price. Traditionally, the price is considered an important tool for evaluating the quality of educational services from potential buyers and the stage of deciding on educational services. The issue of pricing in educational institutions, non-profit educational institutions, is of a great attention because financial changes triggers an economic dominance in the domestic education, especially higher. This core component of the pricing policy of institution is not only ceiling price of educational services, but the rate between the value of predicted effect and required additional consumer spending for the use, consumption of services, including the processes of their learning. We pointed out that the notion price covers the price of studies, price discounts and markups, maturity, credit conditions, the form of payment. This approach focuses only on cash, but not less important argument in deciding whether to purchase educational services is not the value of non-price costs behavioral response. Consequently, the price of educational products is a set of cash and non-cash means of payment, like time, physical and psychological effort. Next, we talk about promotion. Communication objectives of higher educational institution have been qualified by Peter Kotler and Fox as follows. To maintain or enhance the image of the institution, build loyalty and support for graduates, attract donors, provide information on institutions of higher education, attract potential students to encourage them to submit preliminary applications and to join the institution, correct inaccurate or incomplete information about the school. Kotler and Fox proposed to use as the priority forms of communication PR, marketing communications, and advertising aimed at enhancing the image of educational institutions, the formation of a sense of belonging and loyalty for future and current students or pupils. Taking into consideration the education market, an important aspect that is related to communication is direct communication, changed by the initiative representatives of interest groups, such as parents in the circles of friends, students, and teachers. This way of communication has become the most popular channel of communication between parents and the institution. Next element, place. Distribution of educational services is a process by which schools and promotion their educational services to target market segments. Distribution channels of the institution is a way to provide educational services and the way they move from school education to the consumer using the price of decentralized target distribution. Elements of marketing mix considered in the context of the following aspect. The first, place of supply of service, for instance, geographical location of the institution, branch network, transportation. Then forms and methods of services. It could be stationary, day and evening, and correspondence, also interactive, remote, or external studies. They also include internal, counseling, and self with methodological and informational support of high school. Next element of marketing mix place. This is transportation. Moving teachers of educational institutions transport students to places of compact residence to academic buildings. Next element of marketing mix place, this is order processing. Means operation selection committee, professing information about the competition, creating a network of correspondence in the region. Distance learning as a way to distribute educational product is a promising and profitable activity. This distance learning, due to its potential function, is increasingly used by older generations of working students. In addition, abroad among this group of students, distance learning is a popular education in the evening and at weekends. Next, we consider element number 5 of 5 piece marketing mix. We consider people. People for non-profit education organization. Both academic and administrative staff at educational institutions in the marketing context can be viewed in two dimensions. On the one hand, the element of staff is represented through quality work of management system, professional qualification level, and practical skills also include work ethic, friendly type of communication with pupils, students, their parents, and other consumer groups, and plays an important role in attracting students, foundations, and educational services. On the other hand, the quality of internal communication between students and teachers, the intensity and effectiveness of cooperation, is a factor of differentiating and positioning educational institutions in the educational market and an important element of the quality of the educational product. The teaching staff of educational institutions are the most important competitive advantages because it is known scientific achievements footage already expressed a positive effect on the competitive advantages of domestic universities. The relevance of this approach confirms the activation of aggressive marketing to attract and retain teachers of institutions studied areas of developed countries. Next, element process. Provision of educational services is a process that must comply with the quality of education. The process of education services is a way of providing educational technology services, includes the process of the students, teaching courses, testing and evaluation of the course, dissemination of the result, and also graduation. The tools of the delivery of educational services is the process of maintenance, engineering staff, employee relations and customer service culture, and also compliance with sanitary standards. Manifestation of innovating and creative approach to the delivery of educational services is the creation of cyber school or virtual schools. providing implementation of training programs with the help of the Internet and electronic communications. For example, in Ukraine, regulatory norms of a product offering educational services providers make it a priority to use group learning. However, the development of information technology led to the development of national educational innovations, including online learning or another called distance learning. Before the development of public education programs, align more universities around the world, making those the global technological revolution in online learning. It should be noted that the world market of distance education in 11th year reached $65 billion and experts predict that the trend will grow the next 5 years and in current year reached more than $50 billion. Most dynamically growing market of distance education services in the Asia and Eastern Europe. Next is physical evidence. Element physical evidence is considered first in the context of the material environment, the environment in which the process of providing services, and secondly, in terms of equipment directly with where the process of services delivery. This concept of material support means building clean rooms, interior equipment and rooms availability, computers, technical facilities and furnishing. Some of them were provided by the hostel students. One of the direction of radical improvement of logistic and information management in our opinion is to promote the sharing of equipment, especially for the intensification of research activities. The analysis of the science literature, found that in the context of the educational element of the marketing mix, the most differentiated components are product and distribution. However, all elements of marketing educational institution must be reconciled as they mutually affect each other, increasing or reducing their efficiency and create favorable conditions for this establishment or relationship and commitment to consumers. And now we turn to stage number 4 about build profitable relationships and create customer delight. To establish profitable relationships with customers and meet their needs, educational organizations must find out who these customers are. Direct customers are educational institutions, students, pupils, employers, and also mediated and direct consumer product providers of educational services. In addition, society as a whole receives the benefits from the activities of educational institutions, so the consumer can also be considered in the educational market. Since marketing is defined not only as object-oriented and the presence of exchanges and other stakeholders also come to the subject field of marketing. Therefore, in addition to students, employers and society, there are other stakeholders, the exchanges among which will help to achieve marketing goals. With this holistic approach to the marketing non-profit education institutions should use more resources than commercial, as a priority objective is to achieve social impact which should be combined with the solution of the secondary but vitally important issue of financial support. Next stage, this capture value from customers to create profits and customer equity. The non-profit status of the most educational institutions determines their priority orientation to achieve profit goals and their social mission. This implies that their commercial activities support acts only on the basis of social-oriented activities and should focus on value exchange with consumers in both monetary and non-monetary terms. Considering the problems of non-profit and marketing in the light of developing effective mechanism of interaction between public, private and third sectors, there should be indicated the special role of non-profit education and research. First, NPOs study areas provide economic benefits, increase GDP, create jobs, contribute to national and regional development, also reduce the burden on the state budget, and increase the potential to transform the national economy into a knowledge-based economy. Secondly, NGOs exert social impact which is not associated with a profit, but that benefits the society or the individual's groups. This over-consumers market received from non-profit business education and research social impact due to the formation and enrichment on knowledge, skills, competences for employment right to ensure its competitiveness in labor market, productive employment and reduce unemployment and poverty reduction. Third, NPOs of education and research sector with educational products such as knowledge, ideology, cultural experience and necessary level of training, and this contribute to the formation of stable value preferences and responsible behavior of their customers on healthy lifestyles, leadership development, patriotism, class, gender, racial equality, reducing crime, increasing social mobility, and more. And as conclusion, they traditionally, for the subjection of non-profit areas, the value they receive from consumers in exchange for educational product is contained in a sphere of economic and non-monetary rewards. The modern role of secondary and higher school must consist in forming of new humanism necessities, the awareness of which will provide growth, the demand in knowledge on educational services as product and consequently new marketing strategy. And this conclusion. The problem of marketing of non-profit organizations in developed countries is related to finding ways of marketing campaigns, finding new tools of mechanism for fundraising, accounting, and evaluating the effectiveness of marketing activities.